Hey guys, welcome to the spoiler section.
So what I was saying with my cynical side, whenever they're doing a training, they're like, all right, this is pretty hard. This is what's going to happen. There's some expendable people. There's a lot of people in the classroom.
Oh, yes. You
it's like,
want
okay,
people to
that
die.
guy's like, oh, that's a lot of G-force. He can't handle it. He died. I was like, holy shit, that's pretty crazy.
In training, there's a scene that addresses Joe's concern, but he
It's
wanted
like,
him to
fine.
die.
Everyone's like in the classroom.
Safe, yeah.
Everyone's in the classroom the next day. It's like, okay, let's go back.
Yes.
It's like, oh, well.
I can agree with that, Joe. I definitely can agree with that. It would have been.
But that's just.
It's like they're trying to do justice to pilots, trying to do justice to the Navy, the military, the legacy. It would feel wrong to kill a character, especially when the whole film's crux and heart of it is the death of Goose and losing a pilot in that way.
But that's just what's going to happen. Look, like you said, you fly long enough, you're going to lose someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
it could have done it.
I think they definitely could. The timeline's kind of weird because Rooster is 40.
What?
Supposed to be 40, right?
Yeah.
Rooster's kid should be 40
He's
right
like
now?
5. Because he's like 5 or 6.
Because the first one came out when, 86?
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's like a little kid in the first one?
He's been serving 33 years of service in Maverick. So, that's Maverick, 33 years. But it would be 33 years later. The kid was what, 7?
Like 5
no,
or 6.
5, like 4 or 5, I would say, real little. But
what the fuck?
But 36 years.
Not.
Yeah.
Okay, so they do a little bit of time.
Yeah, the time's a little weird. He's like, no, I pulled his papers. He lost 4 years. It's like, I think he lost 14 years, Maverick. I don't know if you know how math works, but it's movie magic.
Yeah, movie magic.
It's fine.
So, anyways, what's
Way
the
to
mission?
ruin it for me, Alex. God damn it, he ruined the movie for me.
No,
I did it after the verdict. The verdict stands. Man.
Hey, you know how good Tom Cruise looks? Maybe all these pilots are all 50, 40-year-olds, and we just don't know.
Yeah.
Then they take their shirts off. Okay, so we get a cool little experimental hypersonic Dark Star scramjet program where he's, pushing the limit, wants to save everybody's job. Maverick is a good guy now, which I guess, he's softened over all these years because you guys said he's a bit of a fucking asshole and a jerk in the original.
That's why he got
He's still
kicked
a
out.
rule breaker because he's breaking all the rules, federal laws and the Navy rules and everything.
But he gets the job done.
But he takes it to Mach 10, and the film actually addresses something that is probably very likely to happen is eventually, this is a dying art. Drones will fucking take over. Unmanned aircraft will take over. It's safer. You could pull more G's because these people are really exerting their bodies, and that sucks because, man, it's a shame because, like, being one with the machine and being up there in the clouds, it seems so fucking awesome and romantic. Not the fucking, war part, killing and destroying, but the fucking flying part and being one with the machine.
It was probably really cool to be on horseback with a sword for a long period of time, and then it's just like, well.
And we'll still have some fighters, but in
war,
closer. They should be unmanned so that people don't have to die. Anyways,
he blows up $1 billion jet because he's a shithead, and he loses everyone their job. Actually,
no. It said that program goes forward. He buys them all time,
but he blows up the aircraft.
Yeah, but they'll just rebuild it. I mean, in the lore of this, he saves their job. They get more time.
Taxpayers' money,
nice
man.
try. And he actually does a flyby of Kane, Ed Harris, who's,
who died because he did a flyby.
He's still, it's hypersonics.
It lifted the roof off of the building.
It would have
Ed
lifted
Harris
him
is an old-ass man now. Like, he's dead.
Oh, we love to tear these. Okay, anyways. Yeah. So after that, he assigns him to the Top Gun team. And he's thinking, oh, this is a very dangerous mission. You want me to fly it because I'm Maverick. No, I want you to teach.
Yeah. You're fucking old. You can't fly an airplane
What
anymore.
the fuck? You want me to what?
Well, they explained it, too, because, like, in the first Top Gun, he's like, what do you want to do? He's like, I want to teach. He's like, well, now he's going to go back to teaching, but he got kicked out.
Yeah,
2 months
so he
in.
actually did teach at some point. He fucked it up because he's not very good at it. But he gets really good at it over time because he seems to be the wise old man that can kick.
He's got the reactions.
He's got the pocket
kids'
sand
ass.
tricks. Like he fights dirty. Like the older you get, the dirtier you fight. And
you
like
just don't give a fuck.
And he's like, I don't need to rely on my skill. Pocket sand, you lose. And that's. But all of the things that he does that are pocket sand are not only illegal, but they're against the Navy regulations. He gets slapped down immediately.
And they're really cool.
Yeah, they're cool.
And totally excused. So they've got to go in. They got to fly low to the Rogue Nation. A Rogue Nation is enriching uranium. Bad Guyville. It's underground in a fucking crater with 50 bajillion SAM sites and 5th generation fighters, so they would be on the level of the F-18s, if not better than the F-18s, actually, because I think the F-18 would be 4th gen, I think. So they go in and they have to fly low. So he essentially trains them how to do this course. And it's just really entertaining. All of the training sequences, all of the cat and mouse types of things that he's doing as he's kind of training them. Meanwhile, we get the subplot with Jennifer Connelly, which is him finding love. So now knowing that, because I don't know what I don't even remember the original. I thought it was a continuation of the story there. Now it kind of feels like, oh, okay, it's a little more injected in. It's like they didn't have to put it, but they did. But it still works.
It's handled so much better. The reason the first one doesn't make any sense is like she doesn't like him, and then she's in love with him the next day, and it's fucking dumb.
Okay.
And I mean, it's terrible.
Yeah.
And in this one, because it's a continuation, they immediately go, "Hey, we used to have chemistry. We were in love before. I got sent away." And so you buy like even someone who like I'm a curmudgeon. You're like, I buy that. It's like that's not.
She couldn't love him, Alex. She was a teacher. He was a student.
She was a government She was like a government employee of the time, and it was terrible.
Yeah.
Okay, and so then eventually these new pilots come in. He's has to select 6 of them between 12 of them. So of course we've got the fucking Ice 2.0.
Yep.
These I don't know what to call him.
Hangman.
Hangman, kind of like a Abercrombie model who thinks he's the best. He's the hotshot pilot. And you got Rooster, who is confident but not fully confident, can sometimes,
self-doubt.
He's super safe.
Right.
Yes,
And he's like, but at least I get the job done. Yeah, but you would be dead if you did it in that time. He's like, oh, yeah, well. Anyways, so these two have a little bit of conflict there, and that's good because it kind of recreates the conflict between Maverick and Ice in the original. And Hangman seems to just always, why is he called that? Because he hangs out his fucking wingman to dry. Now, of course, the Navy would have fucking immediately got that attitude out of him because you cannot be a fucking
not in the Top Gun universe because that's exactly what
fight.
Maverick is. Maverick is the guy who abandons his wingman for an entire fucking movie.
The only reason why he didn't leave Goose is because Goose was right behind him.
Yeah, and he technically did leave him.
Yeah, he did.
So all the training montages and all the faux dogfights and stuff as they're training is fascinating, interesting, and you feel
shot by shot.
You essentially feel like you're in the cockpit. I should have said that in the main review that this film really transports you in there. But hopefully we got the idea across.
Yeah.
What else? What's next? So really, how is Maverick not out of here? Because Alex keeps bringing up he breaks all these laws. The excuse is that Iceman has been promoted so far up the chain of command that he's able to wiggle Maverick out every single time. He truly believes in Maverick and his abilities and his ability to get the job done. And so he manages to do it time and time again until... at some point in the film, they're having text conversations. At some point, he asks him, I need to see you. That's not a request. Come to my house. And I'm like, oh, they're actually going to show Val Kilmer. I didn't think they'd do that. So they have a scene, and Val Kilmer's in it. And, it looks good for what he's been through. Val Kilmer actually had cancer in this. And in this film, Iceman has cancer, and he's about to pass away. And so they have a really touching scene about Maverick is unsure of his ability to reach Rooster and to send these kids to die and things. And he's like, teach them and stuff. And this scene works, ultimately. And then Iceman passes away. So he's gone.
But before that, he's like, you got to let go of Rooster and all your feelings. And then
he talks because in real life, Val Kilmer has lost his voice, or it's difficult for him to speak. They use that in the film where he's typing on his computer, and I actually think that really worked out well for some of the tension back and forth in the scene.
Yeah, then at the very end, they get the little touching scene. He's like, all right, well, who's the better pilot, me or you? He's like, let's not ruin this right now, which I loved.
Which I loved too, because Iceman, I think I think Maverick is. I think Iceman and Maverick could easily go like this forever.
If you want to buy the numbers, obviously you got to go with Iceman. You get the job done.
Yeah, if you want to be abandoned,
reckless.
if you want to be abandoned in the sky and get shot down because Maverick is a piece of shit, then you choose Maverick.
It's more riskier.
So we get John Hamm's character, call sign Cyclone, who basically is in opposition to Maverick's risky bullshit, and but he starts seeing results. Then we have that. He's like, well, you need to get the team is failing. I'm about to, take over myself. You're not doing this like he would fucking do it. He actually does take over himself. And when he does that, you notice that the way he's talking is like, we'll do it in, we'll give you double the amount of time, 4 minutes instead of 2.5. And the pilots start to notice what's like, well, if we did that,
We're
the
being
atmosphere is
sacrificed.
just completely changed. Like, is he serious? We're sitting ducks.
So basically, implying that the Navy is like, we accept your losses. Few of you are going to die, if not all of you are going to die, but you're going to get this mission done. Maverick's not cool with that, and manages to even do this training exercise. Wait, which one comes before?
No,
What's
so
the sequence of events?
Yeah, he
You're
gets
right.
fired.
You're right.
Maverick gets fired, and he's like, Iceman's dead. He can't save you anymore. You're fucking fired. You're grounded. You'll never fly again. And then John Hamm takes over. And then while John Hamm is taking over, Maverick steals an steals an airplane and flies it. And then
In the amount of time.
Blow,
So
yeah.
okay, fine.
2:15.
Gotcha.
2:15.
Gotcha. Fine. He'll allow it. And then he's like, I don't know what to do. Do I go between my career or fucking making you team leader? And then Maverick's about to argue with him to be team. He's like, that's a rhetorical question. You don't need to answer that. You're going to be fucking team lead.
Yeah.
And then he gets to go on the aircraft carrier. He's all fucking suited up. Maverick gets to go on the mission because the whole film, I was like, they're going to sideline Maverick. They're going to have the new team do it. And then Maverick is maybe going to show up at the end, baby.
No, you can't do that.
You can't do
you
that.
Knew it was gonna
he's going to
happen.
lead the mission. So he's team leader. He's the lead fighter jet. And what needs to happen is the lead fighter jet opens up the hole, creates a hole so that the second fighter jet can then throw the bombs in there. And they execute the plan fairly well. Only Rooster is lagging behind a little bit, and only when he asks his dad for help, kind of mirroring the same way Tom Cruise asked Goose for help and wondering what to do, does he then increase his speed, and he's able to make it. They get two miracles at once. Maverick opens up the hole. Rooster plugs the hole with the munitions, and it explodes. Mission complete. However, and I saw this.
Everywhere.
I saw this at. I know. Well, I saw this in the training simulation in the CGI. Reenactment, it's like, but they're gonna get hit with all the SAMs. How do you explain that? Like, would the Navy even approve of that? If like, no, you're definitely getting hit by like, I don't know, 15 SAMs. Yeah, the mission just goes through. So then, and then when it was actually paying off, I was like, okay, so what is this scene? This scene is the fucking most tension-filled scene. There's like 20 rockets get
what
launched.
they call it, like the coffin or kill box or something like that. At the end.
Coffin run.
Yeah. So all these missiles, they're firing chaff. They're doing hardcore maneuvers, and they mostly get through it all, which is pretty fucking crazy. But Rooster runs out of his flares, and so chaff. So then Maverick has to use his, and of course, because Maverick is Maverick, he can get really, really close, and basically, as if they're one target, launch his chaff. Unfortunately, he expends all of his, and his plane gets hit with the rocket. So they did a good job of building up, is this Maverick's last mission? Maverick has this feeling like somebody's not coming back. It can't be any of my pilots. It certainly can't be Rooster. He says goodbye to Jennifer Connelly's character. He even says goodbye to the air boss. It feels like somebody's not coming back. And so it was good tension there. And honestly, the film could probably still work if Maverick died right there and saved the mission. But no, this film goes in the classic mode where it doesn't really subvert your expectations, where nah, Maverick not dead, is he? No, he's not dead. And he gets shot down, and he crash lands in the snow, wakes up, and he's got his parachute wearing him down. There's a hind coming around the corner and just starts blasting him, and he manages to, and of course, John Hamm, Cyclone's like, I'll return all fighters home. We don't want to lose anybody else. And the camera really zooms in on Rooster, right? So he's got a decision to make. So just as the hind is about to kill Maverick, we get a missile slams into the hind. Now, this happens twice, but you know what? I'll allow it because it's building the tension, and you're into it every time.
It's great.
Right. But if they would have killed a character like Joe said, there would have been even more tension. Because okay, so there is death here.
I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. The hind explodes, and then because Rooster made that decision, he's fired at by even more SAMs. And again, his plane does not have fucking chaff, so he gets hit and downed. Now, it's very lucky that there's two, bingos or whatever you call it, and both pilots survive. Because sometimes when the missile slams into the plane, you're not surviving. But it's lucky enough, the roll of the dice, they both make it out. So then he parachutes, and Tom Cruise gets his running scene. He's fucking running to go. And instead of hugging him, which we thought he would do, he just pushes him down. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
This is where I started liking it.
Yeah. I was like, I fucking saved you. What the fuck do you think I did that for? To save you. And
what were you thinking? I
Yeah.
wasn't thinking. You told me not to think.
Up there.
He's
Like,
oh,
I did say
right.
that. Yeah. But I liked it because there was a scene that really laid the foundation for this with Jennifer Connelly. So I was like, uh-oh, are we going to get a sex scene here? When they were, lovey-dovey, and then she leaves the door open after their date.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, shit, do I have to really subject myself to this? But no, it's done rather tastefully. They don't show anything. And then they just actually start talking in bed after the deed. And this is where they kind of set it up, that it's kind of revealed like Maverick is almost acting as a father figure, a surrogate father figure, because obviously he feels guilty for killing his father. And he is the one that held him back, yes, which is why not only Rooster hates him for being responsible for his father's death in his mind, but also ruining his military career.
Well, I'm surprised they
by
killed
holding him
off
back.
Meg Ryan, too.
Yeah. Well, and another...
years ago, though. Yeah, not in the movie.
Is that what it was? That they
Yeah.
Meg
mentioned?
Ryan is the mother, is Goose's
Right.
wife, and so
She
they're like,
died,
oh, she
they-
died a couple years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he basically says that it was Meg Ryan's character that actually told Maverick to hold him back, and he just doesn't want the son to not only resent him but his mother. What's the point in him resenting both? And I was like, perfect.
Yeah, love
good
that.
explanation. Good setup of a kind of a surrogate father figure, and they have this moment there on the battlefield. Which there was a moment. The whole film, Rooster's hating on him, but then in that beach scene, I kind of skipped over the beach scene. It was this team building exercise that everybody is just having a really great time, and he actually helps Maverick up, and Maverick's almost surprised. Like, okay, maybe we're cool now.
Yeah.
And then this scene cements it. So, and then surprisingly, I thought, okay, this is gonna be the end of the film. You're gonna have, I don't know, Hangman show up to protect a helicopter, fly over, and then they get exfilled. No. We get a little bit of a mini movie. We get behind enemy lines with Owen Wilson.
Yes, I remember that.
At the end of Top Gun Maverick, I was like, all right, I'm fucking here for it. So this base adjacent, there was an airfield adjacent to the base, which they hit with Tomahawk missiles. By the way, that scene was fucking awesome when the planes were flying and you see all the fucking Tomahawks going. I'm like, God damn, you do not want to be on the wrong end of U.S. power. And fucking, that shit was crazy. And they slam into the base. But they did a little seed plant. They did a little Chekhov's gun. They said, there's a bunch of fifth-generation fighters at this aircraft, so we're going to blow them all up. And then, there's also some older Tomcats. I was like, okay. Huh. All right. Why?
Why don't they have 35 years?
Why do you have Tomcats?
Why not?
Well, a lot of countries do have the older aircraft.
In museums.
In museums. Well, no, they still use some of them. But anyway, there is a Tomcat there, and they decide, let's fuel up. They go back to the base that's blown up. The runways are destroyed, and let's fill up a Tomcat. So it's pushing it, but I'll allow it because everything else was so fucking solid. So they fuel it up, still works. It's not a fossil. It kind of is a fossil, but it still works enough to where they can launch it. But not only this, they have to launch it off the taxi runway, not the actual runway. But you got Maverick at the helm. Rooster has no fucking idea what to do in this older fucking machine. So Maverick basically executes it all. And then they make it out, and it's yet another awesome. And then more fighters come. It's like, what the fuck? Okay, so then there's still those two fighters patrolling. It's like, oh shit, they fucking roll up alongside him, and they're like, what's up? It's like they were like, what? Just act cool, because they think this is their fighter, so we're cool. And then the pilot is all, giving the signals, and he's like, I have no idea what to do. And then they get into an aggressive formation, and we get yet another badass scenes. Maverick manages to destroy 5th generation Su-57s with my favorite aircraft, the Tomcat. So I was loving every minute. I was just excusing it all because I fucking loved it. He uses guns to knock the first aircraft out. Second aircraft should have got him, but they've got a bunch of missiles, and he actually uses the destroyed first aircraft as a bit of chaff to have the missile slam into that instead. And then we get a great chase sequence where a much more advanced fighter is in a dogfight with them. And but it's Maverick. Get several tone locks, several missiles fired off, but the 5th generation fighter has chaff and flares of its own. And then it also pulls this crazy ass maneuver that I thought was really cool, because it's like, well, it's 5th generation. It's doing like a spin, and then both of the pilots, both like, Maverick and Rooster, what the fuck was that? So it was a good pilot himself, but they eventually overcome it and make the pilot bug out and eject, and it slams into a cliff because they were using the floor to confuse its sensors. I don't know if that is really a thing for 5th generation fighters. You would think that by 5th generation and our new what are we currently on?
The 35.
30 F-35s, hopefully F-35C. Hopefully we don't have problems with that. By the way, the reason why they didn't use let's see, the new F-35Cs weren't available. So then they had to go with the F-18s. Anyways, so then, they get out of that, but eventually they see a fighter coming head on. And they're like, fuck.
Between them and the aircraft carrier, and it wasn't on radar, and they don't know how it got there. It disappeared out of thin air. And
magic.
It appears. And it's like, what?
Movie magic. And I like it because it definitely makes some more chance. And I lean to my girlfriend, I'm like, this is when Hangman. Because Hangman is not chosen. So you've got this subplot where it's like, who's going to choose? Arrogant bastard's not chosen. And several times throughout this mission, he's like, I'm going to go. Can I go? Permission to go? No, permission denied. Fuck. So I knew right then that it was going to be a last-minute save, just like the Hind, and that's why I said it happens twice. So you got 2 miracles. No, you actually have 4 miracles. No, you actually have more like 18, 27 miracles if you count all the SAM launches and, all that stuff. But, again, super, super fun. Hangman fires his missile just in the nick of time. In fact, a little late because the missile flies. But then the explosion is able to take out both the plane and the missile at the same time.
That's the only actual confirmed combat kill in this whole movie, right? Because the other 2 guys we don't see dying, they could have just parachuted out.
Yeah, but it's still counted as a kill. So as long as you down...
No, I mean a death in the movie.
Oh, a death in the movie.
Because I think the only person in this movie that actually died is Iceman, and then I think that last guy dies.
I think there's 2 pilots that died. There was only 1 pilot that ejected. So there's 3 Su-40 or Su-57s.
I don't remember if that second one actually we see him like blow up or if he. I think
he does blow up because he's using as he's falling. Maverick uses him as a shield for the missile to slam into it. So I think there's 2 deaths. It could be 1 if that guy had ejected before he was used as cover in the air, amazingly by Maverick. And then we get a cool scene of them trying to land the thing, and then that reminded me of Hot Shots. It's like the engine goes out. It's like, wait a minute, are they parodying Hot Shots, where it's like our engine? There goes the other one. Mm-hmm. There's my wing. Now the left wing. Now the rudder. Everything. Yeah. Boom. And I was like, wait, are they parodying Hot Shots? Are they actually parodying the original? Or are they parodying both? And
That's a
he's
great
like, don't
job.
tell me the engine's out. He's like, I won't tell you the engine's out. But they still managed to land the plane by using the net, this old school Tomcat. Everybody's celebrating on the fucking deck. It's just like the original. The fucking arrogant guy comes up, Hangman, shakes Rooster's hand. They're cool buddies now. Saved your life, and everybody's happy. And it's confirmed that so this arrogant Hangman that had to, wait, he actually got a confirmed kill before. He was like the only pilot in the previous 30 years that's got a kill. Maverick is the only one that got 3 kills within aviation history of 32.
Ace.
And I had no idea that the film, it's a perfect ending because they made him an ace. Because you have all these legendary aces throughout history, and you have to have 5 kills, and then he got 2 of them in there, so he gets to finally be an ace. So Maverick gets to be an ace. This other guy gets another confirmed kill on his record. Everybody's happy. Mission completed, and it works out pretty well. So Tom Cruise, or rather Maverick, goes to get the girl, but she's not there. She went on this.
Go on a trip.
And there's another great scene too. This Navy pilot goes and he's like, I don't know anything about boats, and she's all on this boat and teaching him, and she kind of puts her arms around him, kind of teaching him how to do that when usually it's the other way around. So I
can see her being the big spoon.
Yeah, I thought that was well done. But it turns out, no, she didn't forget him and move on. As he's repairing the plane, it's shown that Rooster is actually helping him, so they have a relationship now. That comes to fruition, but then she shows up with her daughter, and they get to kiss at the end on her Porsche. So, yeah. And then the last scene is they've been working on this P-51 Mustang, which is another favorite fighter of mine because it sounds so fucking awesome. That engine, as it fucking roars by, I was like, oh, they got that sound correct. And I wonder, I'm pretty sure Tom Cruise flew that one too. And everything is fucking goes off into the sunset. So like I said, a perfect ending. I really enjoyed it, and I don't think we need a
No.
Please don't make another one.
No.
It's good.
No. And yeah,
Two
because
and done.
I don't want the third one. Like I don't need Top Gun 3 Rooster. Like fucking no.
Yeah.
No.
All right, guys, that's it. A little long, but definitely go out and see this one. We really enjoyed it, and hopefully you enjoyed it too. All right, thank you, and we'll see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.